Hi there, Tom Cassidy. I'm talking about the science of getting rich made simple and in practice. So it's practical, it's something that we do, and it's simple. We've distilled the ideas, the concepts in the probably the best book on riches ever written by Wallace Wattles 100 and however many years ago. It's kind of published in 1910, but that was at the culmination of his life. So he had been living this for his whole life and he just decided to knock it out there. And what we've done is we've taken some of the key concepts in the book and put them into a 13x4 so you can concentrate on them one thing at a time. There's a full program on Udemy, and follow the breadcrumbs to find out how you can get really reasonable access to that. And this video I'm going to focus on this concept of awareness, and this is week 1 in the implementation in this really simplified version. But what I mean by awareness is that you've got to believe that it is possible. You've got to have the awareness that something is going to work and that it's right for you and you can do it before you take any action whatsoever. And this is where a lot of people will struggle. They'll never take any action because they don't really have the awareness that it's going to actually work. If I said to you, wherever you are, whatever building you're in right now, I'm going to give you £1 million, $1 million, let's be international, and all you need to do is you need to lift the building that you're in up by 1 inch. Now, you're probably not going to even try because you know that that's not possible. What if I said I'm going to give you $1 billion if you could do it? It makes no difference at all. It doesn't matter how great the reward is. If it's from something that you consider is impossible, you're never going to take any action. So the most important thing you need to do before you get started is to have the awareness that it is actually possible. And it'll help you to think that it's possible if you believe that it's okay, believe that you deserve to be rich. We'll talk about that now. Now, this awareness, I took the first 3 chapters in the book, including the information in the preface, and I said, let's just nut them out into one particular focus, which is awareness. And basically, it's based on science. This is what we're saying, that you deserve to be rich, and it's your duty to make the most of yourself. There's more to go around. With something less. This is a really big one for people. Most of the time people don't like the idea of being rich. They don't like the idea of getting rich. Still, if you told your best friends, people that you went to college with, and said, you know what I'm going to do, I really want to be rich, they'd look at you and your image in their minds would be forever tarnished, because they don't understand that you can be as rich as you like without anyone else having less. Because they don't really understand the concept of abundance, that there is more than enough to go around. And many people who start this journey don't have that concept properly either, and as a result they don't really feel that they can go through on it, because they're really thinking, you know what, when I get the Ferrari and the money and all that great stuff, when I get that, it will mean that other people can't have those things, so therefore it's kind of taking away from other people. Well, it's not true. When you get rich through following these principles, you can't actually do it if you've got that mentality where you're taking away from other people. It just doesn't work. Well, it won't actually work. You won't get rich in this way. We're getting rich on the creative plane. You're creating what you want out of the raw material of the universe, which is effectively governed by your thoughts. Yeah, a bit weird, but it seems to work, so we're going to carry on doing it until we find it doesn't. It's based on science, so results are predictable, and that's the other thing that I'm saying in this. You know, if it is based in science, you are not so special that it won't work for you. Because if you follow the system, and it works for everyone who follows the system, which is what science does, you are not so special. You're not the sort of, you could not prove to me right now that this couldn't work for you. You couldn't say, well, you know, Tom, I've got all this evidence of what a tosser I am, or what an idiot, or what a muppet I am. I can't actually do this. Everything I touch turns to lead or rock or dust or whatever. Well, you're not so special that you can't learn and you can't become the sort of person who can follow a system. Anything you aren't now, you can become. And anyway, one of the things I talk about all the time is that helpful is more important than true. And so what would you choose? What would you choose? Notice which of these you're doing at any time this week, on the course if you're doing it on a weekly basis, but just notice it anyway. See whether it's really you choosing or whether it's your script that's doing the choosing for you. What would you choose? Abundance or scarcity? Would you choose possibility or futility? Would you choose that it was based on science or mumbo jumbo? Would you choose you can do it, or what the hell do you think you're doing? Now, you will range between those opposite ends of this scale in each domain. You certainly will, but the point is you don't have to be at one end or the other. You just have to notice. And notice what you would choose if you were choosing. And then you get to, well, what are you putting in the, well, you know, as you sow, so shall you reap, garbage in, garbage out. This is my mentor's expression, metaphor, analogy, and it's, you know, what are you putting in as a result of the life being a sausage machine? And Richard Wilkins, superstar and guru in this domain, came up with this idea of the sausage machine because it's funny and it makes sense, and it's no more real than what you sow, so shall you reap. You know, it's no more real than garbage in, garbage out. But it's a brilliant metaphor. It's basically saying whatever you put in, you're going to get out. So all you have to do this week is put awareness into the sausage machine. Just notice what you're doing. Notice what you're putting in at all times. Don't change, just notice. All change comes from first noticing. These are things that you would choose if you were choosing. So if you're not doing any of these, just notice that it's not you, that it's your script. It's the previous experiences rearing their ugly heads, and as a result, you can just take that pressure off. Because if you thought that it was you having all these unhelpful thoughts, that would make you feel bad and think that you were perhaps a muppet and you couldn't get anywhere with this program or any programs or anything in life in general. So the fact that when you notice, well, okay, I am doing that, but it's not helpful, so I wouldn't choose it. So it must be a default response based on my previous training, experiences, life, living, and all those disappointments and failures I've had in the past. But you are not what you are choosing. You are what you would choose. Think about it. Anyway, that's enough from me today. That's Tom Cassidy on The Science of Getting Rich, made simple and in practice, and we're talking about awareness. I hope you enjoyed it.